and an executive cabinet. It's a great pleasure and honor to be able to uh, do a principal's report and the progress of our school, along with my partner in crime, Assistant Principal Amanda Gross. Yeah, so I know that we have a few minutes, but we do want to recognize, we want to do our first slide is the recognition of our teachers. Let's see, let's wait for Scott to. We have several teachers that we want to recognize. It's been recognized since the beginning of the school year. First, we have Vincent Tran, who was just here and was recognized by RAF, the Resource Area for Teachers, for being Teacher of the Educator of the Year, and he was also inducted in RAF's Teacher Hall of Fame. And the second recognition is Miss Victoria Salcedo for being honored in the State Assembly District 24 Latino Heritage Month. Recently also, so congratulations to her. Very proud of the work that she's doing. We also have Miss Yen Mai as a nominee for the California League of Middle Schools Teacher of the Year, and that was last November. And of course, we have our two wonderful Maiden MUSD with the beautiful speeches that they made this evening. Next thing that I want to recognize really is the staff's hard work in ensuring that all of our students, especially those students with disabilities, to be proficient in ELA and math. With that, we were recently recognized to be exited from the additional targeted support and improvement. Really, that is, and I spoke in the admin meeting, it's really the theme for achieving this is the collective efficacy, and that the collaboration between teachers, general education teachers, special ed teachers, mental health support staff, admin, office, really is done. We've done a really good job in making sure that students are seen as holistically, not just academically, but also their mental and emotional needs, making sure that they're met. Thank you. And then turn it over to Ms. Gross.
Thank you very much. So far this year, we have had 2 rallies. We had a beginning of the year rally. We had a winter rally in January. And during that rally, the students found out that they raised collectively $8,657 for our Milpitas food pantry through the Jack Emery Drive. So we're incredibly proud of our students. And they have such a wonderful time at the rally. We have 5 teams. Each team has a color. Our students are just so enthusiastic to show their team colors and their spirit. And it's a wonderful time is had by all. Our next rally happens to be in March, and it'll be our Cultural Heritage Rally. And we have one more slide of pictures of our students. And you can see there how they each sit with their teams and show their class colors or team colors. And now we are going to talk about our Flex program. So what is Flex? Flex is a schedule in our school day where it's a period of time that allows students to get extra help, enrichment, or have social emotional support. Currently, we have done 6 Flex periods this school year. We have one about a week and a half from now, and then we'll have 6 after that. So I believe we're doing a total of 13 Flex periods this year. It coincides with our MUSD strategic goal of focused services and support systems to ensure that all students are engaged in their learning and make social, emotional, and academic gains. So with our next slide, we have some examples of how we're using Flex. So we have time for makeups and retakes. So if I'm a teacher and I have 4 students who may have missed a test and 3 who had low scores, I can bring them into my flex class and say, you know what, we're going to make up a test, we're going to do a retake. Excuse me. It is also a time for students who may not have quite understood a concept. So as a teacher, if you're going over an assignment or a concept and you look at those students who you need to be reteaching, it's a time that you could reteach a concept without having to do it for the entire class. And we also have enrichment and exploration. So we have students who are able to explore a variety of cooperative learning skills. We have some flex time periods where they can do puzzles, explore the arts. One of the ones that our students really like is biological illustrations, just to name a few options. And with our next slide, you'll actually be able to see a very robust example of our flex offerings. Each teacher does a particular offering for that time. Scott, can we go to the next slide, if possible? There we are. So it's a little bit more difficult to see, but each teacher has something for their flex time, and students have the opportunity to go in and have choice. Some students are assigned to things such as making up a test, but we also know that we want to give our students the availability of not always having to do that and being able to be excited about other things in school. And so we have really talked about how with our teachers that they don't always pick the same students that need to make up a test or do retakes or learn another concept, so that students can have a wide variety of flex options. And with that, I turn it over to Dr. Cruz.
Thank you for that introduction of Flex. Really, Flex is about 45 or 50 minutes embedded within our regular school programming. We're looking at, I just want to credit all the teachers that and their ability to be open-minded, to have address the needs of our students, really. Especially, I want to credit Ms. Dimas in organizing, providing surveys, and ensuring that all staff members are voices are heard. Just recently, actually yesterday, we also want to hear the most important voices, right, which is our students. And we had this is a brief summary of I think the most salient part of the feedback, which is the question is, overall, do you view flex days positively? And overwhelmingly, 80% said yes, and 20% says, I don't really have an opinion one way or the other, but it's not a negative perspective. Most importantly, 95% of our students would like to see Flex Day continue as part of our schedule next year. The last slide, who best can talk about Flex and this experience but our students, right? So I'd like to have Amari and Ashley talk about their perspective of what Flex Day means to them. Hold on.
Hi, my name is Amari Sims. I'm here today to talk about the Flex Initiative. The Flex to me is probably 3 things. It's a chance to catch up on schoolwork, a chance to learn a new skill, and a chance to be around my peers. I recently took a Flex time named Meeting with a USC advisor and researcher, and recruiter, and they gave me important details on how to make my resume the best, and without that I wouldn't have the chance to actually talk to one of them. And it was basically a really great learning experience for me going into high school to learn how to make a resume, what I should do in high school and far beyond. And also there are study zones offered during Flex, which let people who need the time to catch up on homework, hang out with their friends, or just maybe remake a test. There's time for that too. So it really bends around the person. Like, you can bend it however you want. you can make it some time where you learn something new or catch up on your schoolwork. And it's overall really versatile and a great place. It's a great activity that we're doing.
Hello, my name is Ashley Kuzan, and I'm here to talk about the Flex Initiative. Um, as long as the study zones that were mentioned earlier, we also have fun activities like spooky stories, practicing dance, learning a new language, making sugar skulls, and all of that gives us something to look forward to in the day. These are all stationed in different parts of the day, so after like maybe we had a really hard test, we can do something like a fun activity, and we can like let ourselves relax and relieve and enjoy like the time with our friends. It gives us a de-stressor from the educational duties that we have to follow through every day, and it also allows us to relax and make sure we're not all too um, fogged up in the head, because I know school can get really stressful with all the projects, tests, and other important duties we need to do. So flex time really gives us a good way to let us be ourselves and relax.
I know we went over our allotted time, but we're excited about this flex scheduling.
I'm excited about it as well, and I'd like to point out that it also meets strategic goal number 3, developing pathways, and of course number 1, building a culture of we, and number 5, looking at creative ways of doing learning environments. The other outshoot of it that I think is exciting is that as the teachers were trying to figure out how to plan this extra schedule and finding it kind of cumbersome, their two teachers, Victor and Vincent, identified an AI tool that could be helpful to get them to start using and exploring with AI. And you did a PD on it, so it has a lot of great things coming out of this.
I have a question. So this is within your, because you still use like 6 periods, right? So where is this flex time like coming from out of the schedule?
Yeah, we're piloting it right now. We've actually started piloting it last year just to address the needs of the students, right? So we still have our 6 periods. This year, we've done 7 flex days already, meaning that we've changed our schedule, shortened, removed our advisory period, shortened our 6 periods to accommodate for that 45 minutes of flex. Because it is a pilot year, we've looked at, the effectiveness of a 30-minute flex or 40-minute, 45 minutes. So we've just been playing around with it. And I think we're able to, tomorrow we'll be talking about that in our professional development training day as to what are we doing for the rest of the year, what that cadence looks like. So they still have 6 period, but this is in addition to the middle.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
Yeah, I was wondering why the 20% said it's bad. What was so bad about it?
I don't think it's bad. They just don't have currently an opinion about positively their experience. But the 80% says they have a positive experience. The rest of the 20% is indifferent. Yeah.
Sounds like a middle school student. But as soon as you take it away from them, I bet you that 20% will positively respond that they want it back.
Yeah. So I just want to say that I want to congratulate you guys. This is from my perspective, a very innovative program. And, I'd like to see, what students, I like the fact that this is still a pilot year and you're still getting data from it. So that's awesome. And I'd like to see what, when we get a little further down, what's the final verdict on this. And I suspect, given where you're at, it's a positive one. So I want to congratulate you for the innovative program.
Yeah, I just want to say credit to our staff and the intentionality of how we want to design this, including visiting a middle school in Pleasanton as to how it is that they've been doing this for the last 5 years, and making sure that, making sure that what works for us, for Rancho, not any other school.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
With
Perfect.
everybody's feedback.
Yeah.
Any other comments? I guess I conclude by saying thank you for the innovation. We talk about social, emotional, and academic gains. We talk about behavioral. We talk about all these different things. And then there's the therapeutic ways that we approach them. But then there's also the creative and innovative ways of approaching them. Kids having an opportunity to have I don't want to say a break, but a different learning experience on that campus that could connect them to so many different things that the teachers have all agreed to, especially at that middle school age. These are the types of programs that we need to see in middle schools to deal with all the things that those types of children or middle school children are dealing with at that time, because it's a time of discovery, it's a time of growth, curiosity, fear, and the fact that you built something in to kind of alleviate that. I'm sure as you move forward, you may incorporate the students into the programming, like what that'll be and what should we could include in flex time. The 7th graders will decide what they'll see next year and so on and so forth. And just referring back to Kelly's question, that 20% that I want to be thoughtful of if you have the ability to recognize the students that identify that they weren't sure, because if those are students that are, let's say, not really into school, because you do design some of that for them, you might get that additional feedback so that number decreases in the years to come. So hopefully if you guys continue, we see that survey next year, it'll be less than 10%, that aren't sure, that kind of thing. So that would be fantastic. Thank you again for your presentation and that input.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.